welcome to karaoke. So here I am with Gar, and we are the karaoke studio. Yeah, Vietnam and some other countries like the Philippines, they have karaoke places, but this one is set up real nice, whereby you sitting in a room, you pay for this stuff. Look at the seats. You can have like a bunch of people come in there. You sing. You look at the words on the screen. So this is really good for people who want to learn English and learn the lyrics of a song, and it helps them learn a foreign language, like people who interested in learning English, because like the American music is so popular and there's so many songs. Even some foreign artists, they sing in English too, right? Like ABBA. ABBA is a Swedish band. They're singing English. ABBA. Yeah, who would have thought? But nevertheless, if they sing only in Swedish language, how many people might have known about them? Unless their sound is really, music is really good. But usually, some bands, they would sing in English. So here, they get the opportunity to look at the screen. You have the music playing, and you sing along with it. Unfortunately, as I said prior, the microphone had stopped working. It was like a short on the GoPro 7 Black, and that knocked out the audio. So this is a long video. I have a few more to put up. This one is about 26 minutes. We were there, I think, like 2 hours. Also, you can order lunch. You pay for lunch too. It's not really an expensive place. I think maybe we pay like maybe $28 or less for you, with the meal included and the drinks and the time to sit there, all that stuff. So one time when I was there, first time in Vietnam, we had like 2 other people with us, 2 other friends, 4 of us. We were singing, but this time it's only 2 of us, and we had fruits also. We didn't have any food to eat, but fruits, a fruit basket. So you see, she got the menu right there. So instead of having to leave and go out and eat, they have a menu. They have a kitchen there. They can cook. They prepare the meal, which is convenient. And it's air conditioned in there, from what I remember. So you don't have to go through the heat and look for a restaurant and so forth. Yeah, you see that water on the table there? You gotta have your water handy. Yeah, obviously, she likes to sing. Singing is her favorite pastime. Yeah. If I were to put some of the songs from YouTube, then they'd probably give me a strike. Not a strike, but they probably say, they probably comment on it that they can't be used or it's limited or so forth. That's what I don't like about YouTube. Every music, even like sometimes I make videos and I walk down the street, and I pick up the music, and then they send me a notice that uh, is like it's owned by some company or what have you, and it's limited, can't be monetized or what have you. Even though I don't monetize my videos. You know, I tried that before, and the money is like really really small. It takes a lot of time to accrue any money. The the big channels, they're the ones who can really make the money. The one with a lot of people. Um, but me, I've been traveling for years, so long before YouTube, and I always had a camera. Not even like if you go back to the 1990s, I had like one of those 8 millimeter video cameras, and I went through. I traveled in Europe, like Spain and France and Germany, and Switzerland, all these different countries. The Netherlands. I went up to Amsterdam, Belgium, and I have my and I put some of those videos on here in this channel if you look carefully. So that's like over 30 years ago, and I had video. Of course, it's not like now. This is much more easier. Not using the SD card. Back then, using the camera was a little bigger camera, but no, still it wasn't the technology like like now. So if you look at some of my videos from then, going back, like I think it was like 1991 when I went touring. That's a long time ago, right? That's over 30 years. Yep, over 30 years, like 33 years ago. Made those videos. Sure looked different then. I went to the south of France, like Nice. I spent some time in Nice, went down in the French Riviera, and so forth. I sure had a great time. Spent time in Spain, Madrid, Valencia, Barcelona, all that stuff. Went up to Amsterdam, spent time in Amsterdam a couple of times. Of course, spent time in Paris. That lady I knew off Air France. I left most of my stuff over there. I used to go traveling to like Germany. I had a Euro ticket that allowed me. So back then I think I paid like $500, and that allowed me to travel all over using the Euro ticket. So I used France as the base. Paris, actually, Paris, France as the base. Went to like the Versailles, the Palace of Versailles. Places you read like when you take history, when you do history in class, like you heard of the Treaty of Versailles after World War One. So I've been in places where people read about in history books. Yeah. The Treaty of Versailles after World War One, when World War One was concluded, they went there. Of course, Louis XIV, Louis XV, all lived there in Versailles. And Louis XVI, unfortunately, he was executed along with Marie Antoinette, the Queen, in France. They accused him of spending money that he wasn't authorized to spend. Whatever that means. I think at the time they were trying to help the colonists in the United States with the revolution against the British, because the French were always competing with the British. They never liked each other, and I don't think they still do. Nope. They don't do. Because you go to like, I think it was 1804, 1805, you see they had the Battle of Trafalgar. If you go to London, you see Trafalgar Square. And Lord Nelson. And Nelson was an admiral. And he was able to beat the French and the Spanish off an island called Trafalgar in Spain. And this was like one of these, what do you call it, on the sea. It was a battle, a naval battle. That's what it was. In an afternoon. And that was around, I think, 1805 or something. Battle of Trafalgar. So, you read a lot of things, you see a lot of stuff. So, I was able to travel around and see places that when I was in like high school and in college, places that I read about, heard about, like the white hills of Dover. I saw those in some of my travels too. Not that time. I saw those later. I think it was 2001 when I took the ferry. I saw those. And France, they have the TGV, that fast train, moves real fast. That's really something, It's like, wow, when you sit there in a train, and this is going back then to like the 1991 and before, of course, and they had these trains, and they move so fast, And you look at the United States, for example, we have like a lot of open space. If you ever travel like by Greyhound or by Amtrak, you see that this is such a huge country, lots of open space. So we can put like fast trains if we really wanted to, but I think there's a lot of like lobbying against it, like the airline industry probably collapse. A lot of jobs probably be lost because when you think about it, going from, let's say, New York to Chicago, right? You want to go from New York to Chicago. Years ago, I did that one time. I think I left like maybe around 4 or 5 p.m. And I arrived in Chicago in the morning. I was going to Los Angeles and I had to catch a train in the afternoon. So I arrived in the morning time. But see, if you have one of those fast trains like they do in like the TGV in France, or like the bullet train in Japan, or even like in China got some fast trains too, you'll arrive in Chicago in no time. So you won't really need to be going to the airport, because when you think about going to the airport, it's really a waste of time, because you have to like, the airports are not really near, most airports are not really near the city, where you can just hop out and you're right in the middle of the city. No, you have to like travel a distance. Even in Hong Kong, it's not right there near the city. You got to travel in on the train. So in New York here, where I am located, you have to take like a taxi or train or what have you, or a bus, like from JFK Airport, or if you're going from like LaGuardia Airport, that's all the way out there. It's still near Manhattan. Probably take you at least 40 minutes on train to get into Manhattan. You first got to take a bus and then transfer to the subway, which is like the cheapest way to get there, right? So On JFK, that's another one too. They got this system. They call it the air train, and the fare went up. I think when I came back the other day, when I came from my tour from Vietnam and Thailand, I didn't use it, but I think it's probably like 850, 880. It went up a little bit now, so you can use it, but when you get out, you have to pay. When you exit in, you pay like $8 and something, and then you have to pay the fare for the subway, which is like $2.90 one way. That's the current fare right now. So while I got this thing going here, let me check here and see the air train fare. Air train fare at JFK. So it's let's see, a ride on the air train costs $8.25 each way. Is that correct? Because I thought it went up some more. Let me see here. Maybe it was seven something and then it went up. Yeah. I'm looking at the MTS website right now. Yep. Take the Far Rockaway bound A train to Howard Beach. Right. That's another thing too. Yeah, so it's $8.25, and plus you saying if you go on the subway, it's $2.90. Okay, so that's $11.15 for your fare. So that's your cheapest way, really. Well, actually not. It's not really your cheapest way. Your cheapest way, if you really want to get cheap, when you leave JFK Airport, you take one of those trains, the one that that drop you at different terminals, because like you have like Terminal 4, Terminal 5, Terminal 7, Terminal 8. There's Terminal 1. That train, when you take that air train that rides around, it takes a while. You go to Lefferts Boulevard. That's where you go. At Lefferts Boulevard, you board the bus right there, right? The Lefferts Boulevard bus, and that will take you to the A train station, all right? Lefferts Boulevard, and there's an A train. There are two A trains, one that goes to Far Rockaway and one that goes to Lefferts Boulevard. So the fare will be $2.90, and from there, over there, when you reach where the bus is, there's no machine. That's another thing too, because I was there, I think sometime maybe last year, when some people visited. I went over there, and there's no machine to buy a MetroCard. So you'll have to go. If you don't have a MetroCard, you'll have to go to the station, the Howard Beach station, which is the A train. And then you can get a MetroCard over there from the machine. You can get one. And then you have to get back and travel back, right? You travel back to Lefferts Boulevard. And then you get on the bus, you pay $2.90, and then that will take you to the A train, the other A train, that stops at Lefferts Boulevard and Liberty Avenue, right there. Liberty Avenue. That area there is called Little Guyana because they got lots of Guyanese people living there, lots of food like roti and all this stuff out there. So while going by, I guess you can stop over and buy roti. Look at the food there that she's taking some out for me. Yeah. So that's the cheapest way. Contrast that with when I came in. I came in, I think, like maybe a little after 9 o'clock when I came back from Thailand, because that's where the plane came from. When I went to Vietnam, I stopped in Thailand. I stayed in Bangkok a while, and then when I landed, I think it was something like maybe like after 9, and that was a Sunday. That was Sunday the 7th January. Right? I left Thailand on the 7th, and I landed on the 7th because of the time difference. It's 12 hours apart in the winter. And then I took a taxi from over there. I just didn't want to deal with the train and so forth. So I took a taxi and I came downtown Brooklyn, where I live. That's about like maybe 11 miles or so. And when you look at the fare, I think it was like, came out like 50 something dollars. Then they have these things they add on, like a tax and so forth. And then a tip. The least tip you can give is like 20% tip, which is, that's what it is, right? You kind of like be shaken down when you come to New York. So I said, you know what? I don't travel here every day, so I'm going to take a taxi instead of coming in, standing there in the platform in the night waiting, and it's cold too. The 7th of January is cold in New York. And at Howard Beach Station, you're out in the open. You're not like down in the subway. So, and then you have to wait on this train. So I didn't want to do that. So I took a taxi. So I ended up paying like $74 for the trip with the taxes they charge. Overnight when you travel overnight after a certain time, they charge you more. Tax for this, tax for that, the tip and all that. $74. So I could have paid just $2.90. But when would I get home? If I paid $2.90, take the bus at Lefferts Boulevard with my luggage, then get upstairs, take an elevator, get upstairs to Lefferts Boulevard, and that's train station 2 is the last stop. It's out there in the cold. So if you want to be cheap, you can do that, but then who knows, after standing in the cold, I'll probably catch pneumonia. So I figure, look, it's not worth it. You went out, you had a nice time, you went on a trip, you spent money. Take a damn taxi, take a yellow taxi, even if it means you're going to be ripped off. The first taxi I took, the guy, I told him, look, I used to work here, I used to drive my car, I used to come to JFK every day from downtown Brooklyn. I didn't, in those days you don't have, they didn't have GPS, So I knew that, and I know how to do it. I know how to drive there. I used to drive to work there. I used to work like 5 days a week, sometimes overtime. I'll go back over there. And he didn't want to. I told him, when you get up there, do not go up the Van Wyck. Do not go up the Van Wyck, okay? You take the Belt Parkway into North Conduit, into Atlantic Avenue. He refused. He didn't do it. He turned and he was going up the Van Wyck. I said, "You're going up the Van Wyck, sir?" And he acts confused, and he has the GPS out. And I said, "Listen, I told you, do not use the GPS." And he told me, "Well, this is the way I drive. I need to use." I said, "Look, I've been driving for years. I used to come to work here at JFK Airport. I never had a GPS. Why would I need a GPS? You know? I used to come to work here. I used to drive here in the day. I used to drive here in the night. Sometimes I used to go there sometime 1 o'clock in the morning if I had to go on a plane, if a plane is coming in. And I had to go, you know, if there's a plane coming in and you gotta like review the manifest or something like that, a cargo plane. I used to go there in the night. And I knew my way. And I said the only time I would use the Van Wyck, I would go up in the BQE to the Long Island Expressway, Grand Central Parkway, and you go down to Van Wyck. It's like very late at night, maybe like after 1 in the morning, after 12, after 1 at night, you can do it. And you can get there real fast. Other than that, you're just messing yourself up. And you're going to be stuck like in a parking lot. So that's exactly what I did. And he dropped me off. He dropped me back at the airport. And I got another taxi. And the taxi followed my instructions. And brought me home, brought me to downtown Brooklyn. And I paid the $74. And that was it. I'll see you on the next video. Karaoke.